Welcome back to PCOS Healing Adventure with me, Dr. Ami Patel. In today's video, we're going to talk about how to batch prepare quinoa and brown rice. This is a really good time-saving hack for all of us because we're all always short on time. It's really helpful, during the week to kind of make some to carry over for the whole week or a couple times a week, which is what I do. It's really helpful to have, food like this that you could eat on hand, especially if you're trying to eat healthier, trying to follow a more PCOS-friendly diet. I find it really useful, especially because with Indian food, there's roti that we usually eat, which is made of gluten. So when I was trying to limit or cut out gluten, I tried to, still eating Indian food, but I wanted to incorporate more quinoa and brown rice with it, with the dal and lentils. It's also really good for me to have on hand because not everyone in my family eats the same types of foods that I eat. Like my husband would love to eat roti, so it's useful for me to have this on hand so I don't have to always be cooking like multiple different things throughout the week. I love brown rice because it's not as processed as white rice, which means it still has its vitamins and minerals and antioxidant properties left. Also, I know you guys may be concerned that brown rice is still a carb. However, it is a good carb because since it has its nutrition and fiber, it is considered a low glycemic index food, which means it doesn't spike your blood sugar. I know for many people, white rice is a staple in their diet and in the culture, and it might be hard for you to give up, which is totally fine. If you still want to eat white rice, feel free to eat it. Just make sure that you combine it with the high protein food so that your blood sugar doesn't spike as much. Now let's talk a little bit about quinoa. I got this quinoa from Costco. As you guys know, I love buying in bulk, even though my husband doesn't like the fact that it takes up space in the pantry. Quinoa I love because of all its health benefits, and it's really versatile. It's actually good. You can add it into salads as well. It's full of protein as well as fiber. It's one of the plant-based foods that actually has all 9 amino acids in it, so it's really great for that. It also has iron in it, which is really surprising for a grain, so that's also another good thing about quinoa. To prepare the quinoa and brown rice, you can use an old-fashioned cooker like this one. Definitely gets the job done. You don't need an Instant Pot. However, I do have an Instant Pot, which I love to use, so that's what we are gonna do today. If you don't have these stackable plates, I actually got these from, my mom got these from India for me. But if you don't have these, you can buy them from Amazon. They actually are called stackable because they do stack together like this. However, I do put a plate in the middle because that's what my mom told me to do. So I already rinsed the brown rice and quinoa. What you have to do is I put half a cup of quinoa with 1 cup of water. Make sure you rinse it and then put it in the dish. And then for the brown rice, I did about 3/4 cup of brown rice with 1 cup of water. And then inside the Instant Pot, you also have to put 1 cup of water. So that's there. And then before you put the dishes in, we want to make sure that we put this tray that came with the Instant Pot. So the brown rice is a little bit harder to cook, so you always want to make sure that you put it at the bottom. One time I accidentally flipped it the other way around and it didn't cook well, so I always make sure I put the brown rice at the bottom. And then we put the quinoa on top. I know sometimes we may think that we have to soak the rice and quinoa. However, by the time the Instant Pot water turns warm, I feel like it's enough. I don't actually ever take the time out to soak it, and everything turns out fine. So we are going to So on the Instant Pot here, you want to do pressure cook on high. And I like to do this for 18 minutes. Sorry, it's really hard for me to do this upside down because I never had to do it. Okay, 18 minutes. You always want to make sure your Instant Pot part here is at sealing. So this will take a few minutes to warm up, and then we'll come back and see how it turns out. And I'm gonna move this because apparently I'm not supposed to put it on an extension cord, which is what it's on now, so I'll be back. All right guys, we're back. Let's check out how this quinoa and brown rice turned out. Also, this is going to be really hot, so make sure you're careful. Wear gloves if you need to. Oven mitts. Right. Okay, cool. So this is the quinoa right there. And smells really good too. Okay, this is the brown rice. Hopefully you guys can see that. And let's just take some out in a plate here. So it's nice and fluffy. Take some quinoa out. So you guys can see how nicely it's done, and they're both nice and fluffy. So hopefully with the benefits and how quick and easy it is to make both of these, maybe I've convinced you guys to try it out. If you are still a little hesitant, we are focusing on progress here, not perfection. So it's totally okay if you want to just try out maybe either of these with white rice and mix in a little bit of brown rice or a little bit of quinoa. My husband actually initially didn't like either of the brown rice or quinoa, but he realized the few times that he did try brown rice that he felt fuller for a longer period of time, and that's what fiber does for you. So he has transitioned over to eating more brown rice primarily. So he also mixes in quinoa sometimes, and I like to mix brown rice and quinoa as well, especially for certain dishes like dal or lentils. The brown rice gives a pretty good substance. Leave me a comment telling me one thing that you guys like to eat rice with. If you liked this video, be sure to check out my previous video on homemade trail mix. Also, be sure to hit like and subscribe so that you don't miss my future videos. Also, follow me on Instagram at PCOS Healing Adventure, where I share educational, motivational, and lifestyle tips. As always, thank you guys so much for watching my video. Remember to be kind and patient with yourself and focus on progress and not perfection. I'll see you guys next time on homemade trail mix. Be sure to hit like and subscribe on how to make homemade trail. As always, thank you guys so much for watching my video. Why can't I do this last part?